I'm really thankful to you. This is our first event, and the first event is very auspicious, number one, and good to see people from pharma and chemical industry present in large numbers. So a big thank you to all of you and a big clap to all of you. So we start with a big clap. I think the energy level is pretty low, so I request once again to give a big clap to, it's for everybody. So good morning. Without wasting any time, I once again welcome you all for today's day-long event on corrosion risk management and process safety in pharma and chemical industry, organized by Indian Pharma Post, an online news media covering pharmaceutical sector, and Indian Chemical News, India's #1 portal covering chemicals, petrochemicals, and energy sector, in association with Alleima, a global manufacturer of high value-added products in advanced stainless steels and special alloys, as well as solutions for industrial heating. I'm your host, Pravin Prashant, Executive Editor, Indian Pharma Post and Indian Chemical News. I welcome you all for your presence in today's seminar. Good to see the hall full so early in the morning. The topic for today is corrosion risk management and process safety. So two words are very important: corrosion risk management and process safety. And here, the two verticals are pharma and chemicals industry. Corrosion poses a significant challenge, threatening equipment integrity, product purity, and regulatory compliance. Traditional approaches to corrosion mitigation often involve the use of materials like stainless steel, nickel alloys, and fluoropolymers, each with varying degrees of resistance to specific corrosive agents. However, an increasing focus on environmental sustainability necessitates the exploration of greener and more sustainable solutions. So with this background, before I start my presentation, there is a small video from Alleima. I would request the console people to run the video and dim the lights.
We have made a promise to always look towards the future and be a leading force in the world of advanced stainless steel and special alloys. There's not one sector that wouldn't benefit from more advanced materials. Across the globe, we work hand in hand with customers to move industries and societies forward. Our innovations pave the way for industry-wide breakthroughs. All manufacturing industries have the need for more advanced materials, even in the most delicately engineered life-supporting detail. We enable technology and make applications safer, more efficient, and sustainable. At any given moment, we're right there, where quality is essential.
This seminar on corrosion management and process safety in pharma and chemical industry. There is a short presentation from my side. So if you see the pharma sector, it is valued at, I hope, sir, if there is any mistake, you will forgive me. So Indian pharma market is valued at $50 billion in FY 23-24, projected to reach $120 to $130 billion by 2030 and $450 billion by 2047. This is driven by both domestic demand as well as exports. India is the largest global supplier of generic medicines by volume and major exporter of vaccines. In FY 24, pharmaceutical exports reached $27.8 billion, with US remaining the key market. India is the world's third largest pharmaceutical producer by volume and a major supplier of generic medicine, accounting for 20% of global supply. India is the third largest producer of API, accounting for 8% of global API industry. About 500 plus different APIs are manufactured in India, and it contributes 57% of APIs to the pre-qualified list of WHO. Indian pharmaceutical sector supplies over 50% of global demand for vaccines, 40% of generic demand in US, and 25% of all medicine in UK. So this an overview on the pharma. Then on the CRDMO and medical technology market, it is emerging as a key player in global pharmaceutical supply chain with contract research, development, and manufacturing organization, industry set to double to US $14 billion by 2008. This is a report from Macquarie, and a report from CII talks about medical technology industry poised to reach exports of up to US $20 billion by FY30. Some of the pharma PLI schemes, which the government of India has announced over a period of time. This is encouraging growth through PLI schemes for domestic manufacturing and offering 100% FDI for greenfield projects. The PLI schemes for pharmaceutical is being implemented with a total outlay of US $2.04 billion, spanning from 2020-21 to 28-29, to boost India's manufacturing capacity, elevate investment, and diversify product offerings in the sector. Let's talk about the R&D investment in pharma. It is moving from a volume-based to a value-based model by focusing on innovation. Increased investment in R&D is concentrated on novel drugs, complex generics, and biosimilars. Promotion of research and innovation in pharma, PRIP scheme, with a rupees 5,000 crore outlay, aims to support R&D and establish Center of Excellence, COE. India has the largest number of US FDA-compliant pharmaceutical plants outside the US and over 2,000 WHO GMP-approved facilities serving demand from 150 plus countries worldwide with 10,500 plus manufacturing facilities. So what are the opportunities that we see? Increasing demand for treatments for chronic conditions like cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and cancer is also contributing to the growth of Indian pharma sector. Industry's ability to produce high-quality, affordable medicines and vaccines make it crucial part of global and domestic healthcare systems. The industry is increasingly adopting digital technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, ML, to enhance drug discovery, streamline manufacturing, and improve patient engagement. It is also helping in reducing the timelines for making these products available in the market. A short synopsis on the chemical market. We are at $220 billion market. It is expected to reach $300 billion by 2030 and $1 trillion by 2040 and $2 trillion by 2047. It is the world's sixth largest chemical producer and third largest in Asia. It ranks as the third largest agrochemical exporter and a leading producer of dyes and intermediates. So what are the key segments that you see in the pharma sector? Specialty chemicals, valued at approximately $62.78 billion in 2024, and it's projected to grow to over $95 billion by 2030, expanding at a CAGR of nearly 11%. So this is the bright star from a chemical perspective. On the agrochemical side, the market was valued at approximately $11.2 billion in fiscal year 2025, and is projected to grow to $14.5 billion by FY 2028. India is a major exporter of agrochemicals, with exports reaching $3.3 billion in FY 25. And here we are export versus import. Here we are export surplus in the agrochemical sector. Petrochemicals, it's a big market. We are still what we can say on a deficiency side. So it's set to become petrochemicals powerhouse. So if you see the capex investment which is happening in the next 5 to 7 years is $37 billion in capex expenditure that is we are seeing, pushing for self-sufficiency and driving significant capacity expansion. Some of the favorable government policies, the PLI, the Production Linked Incentive Scheme, lower corporate taxes, and the establishment of dedicated petroleum, chemicals, and petrochemical investment region, which is called the PCPIR, are encouraging domestic production and investment. We are also seeing in the state of Andhra Pradesh, a refinery coming in a big way, which will also look at what we can say, the deficiency that we do have to make it surplus. But we need more such refineries in days to come. Since it is a corrosion seminar, we thought of also putting one slide on corrosion so that it gives you an inkling of how well we are placed. If you see, the Indian market is experiencing significant growth and is projected to expand, with the anti-corrosion coating market reaching over US $1.8 billion by 2029, and the corrosion inhibitors market expected to grow to US $728.7 million by 2030. Heat exchanger market in India is substantial and growing rapidly. Market size was US $1.38 billion in 2023 and projected to reach US $3.10 billion by 2030, with a compounded annual growth rate of 11.5%. Growing industrial sectors which are looking at this particular market is manufacturing, power generation, chemical, pharmaceutical, infrastructure development are driving demand. So today's galaxy of speakers that we do have, we have around 16 of them. Some of them are present here. Mr. K. Rajabhanu, Director General, Pharma, is sitting in the front. And there are a lot of other speakers who are there. Dr. K.V. Ramagopal is there, and there are a lot of Alleima speakers who are there, and others. And Mr. Amit M. Mehta is also come from Gujarat, GACL. So there are two panel discussions that we have. One is on Indian pharma sector challenges and opportunities. These are the key discussion topics that we are planning to cover: geopolitics, government support and policy realignment. And you are well aware what we can say, the Trump policies keep on changing every day, every week, and you do not know, depending upon his mood and depending upon his temperament, he keeps on changing. Some days he says he will go for duty, and some day he says he will eliminate the duty. So we have to be very careful for the next 2.5 years till his term comes to an end. But it is good that he's talking very frankly. So he's not keeping his intentions hidden. So since it is not hidden, we have to prepare ourselves and gear ourselves to see that we become more Atmanirbhar going forward. So regulatory compliance and quality control, dependence on API imports, technology innovation and R&D growth, strategic partnerships and CDMOs. So we are also seeing a lot of pharma companies coming together, both in the R&D part and also trying to utilize each other for the benefit of reducing the cycle of coming out with the product. Digital transformation and AI, which I talked about before also, need for resilient and diversified supply chains, green chemistry, and sustainable manufacturing. The speakers for this particular session is Mr. CHAP Rameshwara Rao. He is the National President of Bulk Drug Manufacturers Association of India. Dr. Pedi Yella Reddy, Founder, President, and CEO, Sapla Organics. Mr. K.V. Ramagopal, Site Manager and Executive Director, Clariant India. Dr. K. Nagaya, Chief Scientist, CSIR, IICT Hyderabad. Dr. Satyanarayana Tirunahari, Senior GM, Process Safety and Engineering, Laurus Labs. Mr. Yadavendra Salgaonkar, Assistant GM, Tube Sales, Alleima, India. And I am the moderator for that particular panel discussion. The second panel discussion is on combating heat exchanger tube corrosion in pharma and chemical industry. The topics that we are going to cover is challenges in heat exchanger tubes, corrosion monitoring, inspection and maintenance of heat exchangers, protective measures and coatings, cost of corrosion, life cycle cost, choosing corrosion-resistant materials and design considerations, water and process fluid management, industry expectation with respect to heat exchanger tubes, showcasing model of cost saving. So what we are trying to do in this one-day seminar is trying to give you all types of flavors so that you know what precaution needs to be done. And you are very well aware about the Sigachi incident. And not only it gives a bad reputation to the company, but also the brand gets destroyed. So what one has to take care is you have to keep on monitoring where do you stand with respect to your equipments, reactors, and accordingly do the needful rather than waiting for the disaster to come in. So we have experts sitting here, Mr. Amit M. Mehta and Mr. Paresh Haribhakti, who will talk about, they have a lot of experience. They do a lot of audits also for for different plants. So they can tell you, and they come up with a lot of knowledge repository, which would be helpful for today's seminar. So the speakers for this session are Mr. Venkata Prasad K, Unit Head Deepak Nitride, Mr. Abhilas Pasam, Associate GM Central Engineering and Projects, Dr. Reddy Laboratories, Mr. C.V. Rajulu, Consultant Industry, Mr. Paresh Haribhakti, Managing Director, TCR Advanced Engineering Services, Mr. Jyoti Shankar Jha, Senior Lead Scientist, Alleima India, Mr. Ganesh Prashad, Technical Marketing Specialist, Alleima India, and I am the moderator for the second session also. So this is my designation and my mobile number and email ID. So if you need any help as a media for any coverage, please feel free to write to me and we will do the needful. Thank you.